Hey friends, so today we are going to go out in the garden. It is September the 13th and I'm going to do my September garden tour. So I decided, because I'm getting more of this landscaping project happening, it's still not complete. It's not going to be complete for a while. It's going to be an ongoing project throughout the season. But because my gardening scale is so much bigger, especially compared to autumn and winter this year, where it's just mainly a smaller container garden, as we were trying to plan out this project, the landscaping project. But I thought I'll go around and do just a garden tour, and each month, around the middle of each month, I want to just come back and so you guys can see the progression and the growth. Some things like the pond, we have a pond now, that video is going to come out next. I was going to edit and upload that today, but I thought it would be more beneficial to get real time like moments in the garden of the growth, as like garden updates and garden tours as close as possible. So I'm going to film, edit and upload all this all on the same day. So some things in the garden will come out in future videos, if that makes any sense. But if there's anything that you do have questions about, or anything that you see or want to know, or anything at all, let me know in the comment below and I can answer it, and they'll most likely come up in a future video anyway, but you can still also drop a comment and that's fine. So, Mr. Nuno here is just going to watch me from the window. You always like to watch. So we're going to go, well not we, I'm going to go, well me and you are going to go outside. He's going to stay there, he will just watch us, and we'll just go around the garden and I'll give you guys a tour. And also quickly before we go out there, I just want to mention I'm in South Australia. September is start of spring for us. Okay, so just as a quick overview of our area, this is what we're looking like. We do have a couple of rubbish bags. We're just cleaning up from Nick's party. We do have a party prep video coming. So if I go over to our more established area, again, still some mess. That was from yesterday, I have to clean up. This was from a few days ago. This is our pond. Meet the fishies. So we got one there. That one's called Michael. And then we got two that's a bit more shy. The multicolored one we called Pepper, she's a fantail and she had the most gorgeous tail in the whole shop. And the other one's like a golden shimmery with a black back. It's just peeping up there. And we're calling that one Peach. Look, there's Peach. So Peach. Oh, and there goes, oh no, that's Peach again. That one's Michael. And there's Pepper. So in the pond we do have two different types of pond plants. I don't know what they're called. They were just labelled as assorted pond plants, and there was a few different designs. I just chose those two. So if you're watching my videos for a while, you'll see these two trees. We planted them as twigs and they grow massively. And right now in this state they're getting their blooms and the leaves. The blooms don't last for long. But they're absolutely beautiful while they are here. Along this back, which I actually didn't film this, I do have a couple of pictures, and I'll show you guys. I'll insert the little video overlay of this sunflower roulette I decided to do. But I've cut away the carpet. We use carpet as a weed mat, and in each side, so on this side and this side, I planted Cosmo seeds, which is the sensation mix, and then in between we done sunflower seeds. So I've got three different varieties of sunflowers. We got Yellow Impress, Solar Eclipse and Christmas Peach. So we got like your standard yellow sunflower, a more like a sunsetty style sunflower, and a pinky peach sunflower. And I just done a Russian roulette, well not Russian roulette, but like a roulette. Like I just shook them all in a container, 3 of each seed, planted them, so now I don't know which order they're going to come up. So yeah, so that was only yesterday, so nothing there yet. These are some pretty solar lights, which I actually love. Like mosaic purple solar lights. I done it like this, and I want to have like a larger light feature here. This plant, I'm going to have to put on the screen what it's called, but it's got these gorgeous little yellow blooms. I never heard of it, but it smells really, really nice. It was nice and pretty, and it's going to grow like a nice little bushy thingy for shade. Ooh. For shade for over in the pond. So it's a little small still, but before it gets too hot. That should bush over. Same as this lavender. I've wanted a lavender for a while now. What lavender is this? I can't remember the variety of this lavender. I'm going to insert that on the screen as well. But it's beautiful. We made sourdough crackers using this lavender. That's coming in a video. Look at them. I love watching these guys. That's so cool. Look at her tail. So on this side of the pond, we have got some thyme. This is lemon thyme. So she's quite small, but she should grow nice and big. And then this is our white sage. And here is our white sage. She's definitely struggling. She needs some love. She does have aphids. I've tried to hose them off so many times. I think I just have to go in and pick off every single affected leaf. But before it got kind of attacked, it was growing really, really good. So from this area, I got this greenhouse thingamajiggy. Nothing's in it. I don't know if I'm going to use it. If I'm not going to touch it in the next couple of weeks, I'm just going to get it gone. And here is Nick's pots. So in this pot, he had it as his, what's the style? Chaos pot. So he has got little carrots, accidentally put in some capsicum plants, beetroot. So these are the golden beetroot. That's more golden beetroot too, actually. Red beetroot, which is baby variety. Possibly baby spinach. I'm not too sure exactly what's in here, but it was full. He had to thin it out. He left it too late to thin it out, so now a lot of it is what he did leave is now unfortunately dying, but that's okay. And in this mini pot as well, which we had a little date night at home, and we just painted in these pots that I got from Kmart and filled them up and planted seeds. He planted in bronze fennel, but nothing has germinated yet. I don't think it will. It was quite a while ago. And then inside these two pots are our leeks. As you can see, they're growing nice and big. This warmer weather's definitely given them a bit of a kickstart. I have put in fertilizer, but they are starting to yellow on the ends. So I don't know. I feel like it still needs something. I'm not too sure, but we got a couple of big ones in each pot. Still got a while to go yet. These all were baby spinach. I don't know why I put them in full sun. This spot is a full sun spot. I should have known better to not put the baby spinach in full sun, but we done it. They've all died. So I'm gonna pot these plants out and put in some nutrition soil, and I want to put cosmos. Try cosmos in these pots. So we'll see how that goes. Dragon fruit. I'm pretty sure this is a fail as well. And then on this side, we're starting our garden bed landscaping project. We are down to zucchinis. This video is already up. I'll leave it down in the description if you like to watch me plant zucchinis. But we are unfortunately down to, so starting from this top corner just here, we got the varieties is green skin, green skin, green skin, green skin. And then it's golden, golden, gold rush, Lebanese, Lebanese. We did have another Lebanese and then another golden right at the end. Those two on the end have died. There's a close-up of the zucchinis. They're definitely growing really nice, but it's crazy how more healthier these plants is, and the further it goes down, the worse they are kind of looking. This is the last one here. This one is Lebanese. And then, like I said, we've lost a couple completely. In this section we have onions. We've lost a few onions because there's something digging them up. But these onion starts are also started from seed, and they are growing really well. It's just whatever's digging it up is a nuisance. But so tomato from seed, the one tomato I have not started was a slicing type tomato. So I got the Grosslizzy, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'll put the title on the screen. But that is doing really well. That's growing really well. There has been flower buds. I've picked them off because I want the plant to be more established before it starts to fruit. But I'm very happy with how that's going. So I only got one of those. And other starts I got 2 peppers. So this is a sweet bell pepper, your standard capsicum. This one is cayenne pepper. This one's so far thriving, going really good. This one not so much, complete opposite, dying. Most likely I'm going to replace that. And amongst here I have planted some seeds which are starting to germinate. So in between the peppers and a little bit in front we got some golden beetroot. I got a couple, 2 or 3 rows, I can't remember, of baby red beetroot, and another 3 rows of parsnip. So now if we were to look at this whole section as a whole, you can see the areas where I've planted. In the middle here we do need to put in a pathway, and then from this side to the path is all going to be carrots, just hasn't happened yet, and then this side onwards is just still incomplete. But in this section we have planted some grass. You can see the green popping up everywhere, and there is also glow sticks still from the party, but I just don't want to walk in. I've picked up what I can around the outside. I just don't want to walk in this section yet, so it should be okay. This section here is definitely the thickest. It's so cool, I love it. But still a while yet until it's obviously going to be all completely established. But our goal with this is to have some grass next year, maybe the year after, I don't know, we're no rush, but it's something we definitely do want to do, is get a dog, so grass will be good for that. And it is not scented with the shed, but it's scented with everything else, and it's scented in this whole garden bed area. Where I'm standing right now will probably be corn. Actually no, it's definitely going to be corn, so in a couple of weeks we'll plant some corn seeds. Where I am right now, we still have pegs. We got the garden edging, and I've only just gotten more pegs, like these black pegs, to fill it in here. And then this side onwards, that's just a whole nother project for later. So yeah, still a while until this is all established. Where I'm standing right now will eventually be corn, and then the tomatoes that I'm growing by seed, the paste tomatoes, will be up here with the capsicums and peppers and everything else. And again, we still got these pegs, but we will do the same black stuff to fill it in. Here is our orange tree, giant orange tree, still has oranges. I do need to come out and harvest because, as you can see, lots of oranges on the floor. This tree is our apricot. To be honest, it's not dying, but it hasn't really done anything either. It might not be the right time or the temperature yet. I don't know. We'll just see how that ends up going. All these fruit trees, obviously not the orange tree, but all these other fruit trees we got at the same time. This one is our almond. It had beautiful blooms. I'll insert some pictures of the blooms. Now it's just these leaves, but it's doing really, really well. And it is shooting off. And it is shooting off as well, which is really cool and exciting. And then here we got the banana palm. She was struggling. All of the leaves died right back. These leaves are brand new leaves it had produced. So although she's struggling, she's still alive. She's still producing. So we'll just have to see what comes from this one. But I just can't wait till this grows up, and just a little bit extra privacy and some bananas will be really good. And then here is the olive tree, and this is another one that's absolutely thriving. This is easy doubled in size from when we first got it, and it's just looking really, really good. So happy with this one. Alright, so back from over here to now over here. Don't mind all of this background mess, but here is a seed tray that I have hardening off. That's got cosmos, coriander, dill, which just didn't work, marigolds, and calendula. Calendula is not looking too good. That's okay. We'll do a close-up of that in just one moment. But here on this trellis, can you tell there's a trellis there? Yeah, you can tell there's a trellis here. So we got this trellis up for some beans up on this side, and we got some cucumbers down here. So these cucumbers I sowed from seed indoors. You can't even see it. I don't think these are going to grow. They kind of haven't grown. They haven't died. Can you tell? There we go. So now you can see 2 cucumber plants. They haven't grown. They haven't died. They're still looking nice and green, but they're just in permanent shade. I thought it would have got a little bit of sun. Where this one's planted is like, that's just out. I was pretty sure that one wasn't, but I just thought I'll see what happens. So yeah, I haven't even finished filling up. Ooh. I haven't even finished filling up this whole section yet, but we are going to plant some more purple king bean seeds right across to pretty much where the sun all stays in. In my other video planting zucchinis, we planted some purple king beans. This is the last one out of the batch. I believe it was 5. This is the last one standing. So we'll see. I have planted some more seeds where I've pulled up the other plants. That one has sprouted there. Otherwise, these ones are all direct sown seeds and they're looking so much more better and healthier direct sown. They did take about an extra week and a half. So those seeds direct sown here took about a week and a half extra than my second lot of seeds inside. Inside they took, I think, not even 48 hours and they sprouted. Out here a week and a half until they sprouted, except they are just surviving a lot better than the ones I started inside. They were grown, but when I transplant them, they just weren't doing too good. On the other side of this fence, we do have this path down. We got this up just as kind of privacy. Water tank, love it. It's giant. At first I hated it, it was ugly, but now I'm into my gardening. I'm so grateful for it. In this pot is kind of just a mixture pot. So we got, I think this might be a radish, to be honest. I don't actually know what this is. I think it's a radish. We have a couple of spinach. It's just so hard because I'm filming this in the right in the middle of the day, so it's a bit hard to show. So yeah, this one I think is radish. We got baby spinach, coriander. I'm so blessed with this coriander. More coriander popping up. This possibly could be a beetroot or it might be silver beet. Basil. This basil I brought as a start and something's kind of been munching it, but we think we're okay. I have planted more coriander, but I don't think, oh wait, hang on, I don't think that's coriander. I don't know what that is, but, oh, hang on, something else is popping up here. Right there. I was going to plant the coriander start to have here in this pot to bulk it up a little bit more. But maybe not, maybe things are germinating. We'll figure that out. Here we got compost bin. Now this is the thing I done with the peas. Restrung it, bird sat on it, destroyed half of it. Cucumbers, they have full sun here. Actually, afternoon shade. Completely died. This one's, I think it's fair to say, completely died, and this one is almost completely dead. So I don't know, they're just dying here. Here we have blueberry. I never got around to repotting this. It should be okay, hopefully. It's looking good. There was a couple of these like sticky twiggy worms eating the leaves, but I picked a couple off. They haven't, at least I haven't noticed them back. There are these daisies, which is absolutely beautiful bloom. So you've got like different shades of pinks all on this one plant. So I don't know if you can kind of tell, but we've got different shades of pinks, which is cute. And in this, I got baby's breath planted. This was my pot I made. So that's all sprouted, which is good. We haven't moved the bird bath. That was where the pond was. This isn't a permanent spot, but we just moved it here for now. Ugh. And these are the seeds that I've started. So as you can see, the cosmos are nice and long. They're a bit lanky, but some of them also is starting to get the bloom head. But yeah, we'll figure that out. We've still got a few days to harden off and we'll figure that out later. Okay, so this is my seed starting grow light setup, which is definitely fun. Alright, so just as a brief overview, this rack is a shoe rack. We have these other racks that I have like for my desk, for storage in now the storage room, outside storage, these like actual racks from the hardware store. We got some in the shed as well, but I needed 5 tiers. Everything we have, actually we do have 5 tier ones, I'm looking at it right now, but it's much, much larger and we're using it. But the spare ones we have, that is roughly this size, because I didn't need anything too big, was all 4 tiers, not 5 tiers. And I needed 5 tiers because I have 4 lights and 4 heat mats. So I thought I was cheating the system by ordering myself this shoe rack from Myers. It was $30 including postage. It was 10 tiers with these poles that you can remove. So if I did decide to have an extra one or put it up closer to the light, things like that, that will be good. Or in the future, if I would get more lights, I've kept the pole so then I can add in more shelves. But on the website it was a little bit not clear on the material of the bottom. I just can't have fabric. It was fabric. It did state it was fabric, but after it stated the shelves was plastic. And then it said the shelves was fabric. So I don't know, it was a little bit confusing because they were fabric. I obviously couldn't put heat mats and things on it. So then I went to hardware store, got this wire, I don't know what to call it, to put on, cut to size. That in itself was more than what the racks cost. In total, it would have been the same price just for me to get the same kind of shelves that we already have for 5 tiers. It would have been the same price for me to build this with getting the excess wire and things like that. But it's okay. It works. I kind of like the look of it. And it works. That's the main thing. It works. So here's like my little station as well, by the way. So I got this. This is, I use as my little island if I'm cooking in the kitchen, and I'm also, if me and Nick are both in the kitchen and I want more room, then I'll drag this out because it's on wheels. Otherwise it stays in here so I can water these plants nice and easy. And my watering can as well, which I do highly recommend getting a watering can that is from the bottom here and then coming out for a setup like this. And also how this works, so it's a little bit confusing. I have the power plug into the wall. We'll do these black cords first. The black cords is the heat mats. This is the control panel. So you got your on switch, plus and your negative to change the degrees and setting it between Fahrenheit or Celsius. I keep it on Celsius. To germinate these seeds, I had it for 24 degrees. Now they're germinated, I've put it down to 22 degrees. And there's 3 parts coming out of here. So the top plugs it into the wool, and then from here we have 2 different things. This one cord is in here. This is your temperature probe. I set that on the heat mat itself, and then that indicates the temperature of what the heat mat is. And then this other cord coming from the control plugs in here, and it doesn't plug in here, it is in here in the heat mat. And then we have another piece that's a twirly whirly. Then we have this other piece which is a twirly whirly connection. I don't know, it's like a male and female connection with this bolt to protect it from any water. So the power's going in, it does whatever it does, and then it's coming out. I've plugged it in here, which is now going in to the second heat mat, and then the same thing coming out. Connected again, it's going in, does its thing, it comes out, we connected it again, it's going in, does its thing, and then it comes out. But because this is the final one, there is a cap that's included to cap on or cap off the end so that there's nothing exposing, and again, safety. If I wanted to buy some more heat mats, I only need to buy just the heat mats. That's the thing as well. With the control and the power source, it comes with 2 heat mats, and then I brought 2 heat mats separate. So if I did want to extend on next season or something, I just need individual heat mats, and then I can keep doing the same plugging thing. And then these white ones, white cords, is for the lights, which is very similar. I'll show you that on the other side. So down here, I have our control. You can have timer either 9 hours, 12 hours, or 15 hours. So one side, it's not as complicated, these lights. One side's in the power box, the other side comes up to our first light. So we plug it in, it's still same as like the male and female connectors. We plug it in this side, you have the whole light, and then it plugs out on the other end. So it comes out on the other end and then plugs into this light. And it's the same kind of process of male and female connectors. And then it plugs out, we loop it around, plugs in, comes through the bulb and up, plugs in. This is our final light, so it plugs in up here. We don't have anything to plug it out. If we were wanting to get another light and extender. When you buy the light, you'll then get the cord that will connect it to this piece into your next light. And then the power just keeps going through. But enough about the lights. Here are the seeds. I stunted these. My original plan when I planted these seeds, which I did film, but I lost that footage. And I'm so pumped about it. I filmed everything, setting this up, trialing and error, building these shelves, which you can see we just kind of cable tied these shelves around, and we cable tied these lights to hang up, to hang here as well. But yeah, I lost that footage unfortunately. But the paste tomatoes is the San Marzanos. So from this cell row to this cell row, these trays has 5 cells in each, so we got 15 that's growing. You can see this guy's doing the best. He's looking so good. But some of these aren't looking as good. So I did stuff up, I did stunt them. We'll talk about my mistake. My mistake that I've now learned and rectified. And you know what? I know I will not make this mistake again, because now I know. Same with tomatoes. This is cherry tomato, black cherry is a cherry tomato, and tiny tim is a cherry tomato. So 1 whole row of each variety. And then here we got some sweet paprika peppers. Unfortunately, I don't have any more seeds to start. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plants. Again, this one's not looking the best, but these other ones now are looking very good. But originally when I planted these, they should be ready to go out into the garden middle to end of September, which is almost ready now, but these plants aren't ready because of my mistake. Down on this shelf, we have got jalapenos. Again, not every single one germinated, or they did germinate and they've already died back, but we fixed the issue. And the thing as well, if you stuff up this temperature control or the lights or anything, it affects every single tray, and that was my fault. So it wasn't just one tray, it was every single tray, but that's okay. So yeah, jalapeno, we have some Sunnybell peppers, Sunnybell F1, but that's just your standard, oh no it's not, that's your yellow capsicum or your yellow bell pepper. So they are now starting to get their extra leaves. It's very bright, but hopefully you guys can see. Next we got 2 rows of the California Wonder. That's your standard red and green bell pepper or capsicum. Red cherry capsicum did not germinate, so then I used the soil there to do some more purple king beans, which is the second lot that's now in the garden, which I showed you that one that survived from this second lot. And then the Casper eggplant, only 3 germinated, which is fine, because I probably would only end up wanting 1. I don't know, if I have the space I'll plant them all, but I've never tried an eggplant, let alone a Casper one, so that was just something fun. This tray looks pretty sad. This is where we had our green skin, our golden, our Lebanese, and our gold rush zucchinis. They're all in the garden. Well, not every single cell, but the ones that I planted all in the garden, the rest went into the compost. Here we got our cucumber melons, which are struggling. I'm going to rip these out and do this whole tray of cucumber melons and start again. Now with my mistake knowing not what to do. Lebanese cucumbers are the cucumbers we have in the garden that I showed you, in the purple king beans we put in the garden, but they all ended up dying. And down here is the tray that's currently hardening off outside with like the cosmos and things like that on it. So my mistake when it comes to these seedlings was I left the light on permanently the whole time. Makes so much sense to me now that I've done it, but at the time I was just so stressed that a seed would germinate because I got a complete different mixture of seeds. And like I said, because it's all on that one control, if I switch the light off, the light for all of them is off. So different seeds need different time of light, different temperatures. The temperature for, thankfully, was fine. Everything germinated except for the red cherry capsicum. It's so hot. Everything germinated except for the red cherry capsicum. Last year I tried that same seed packet, nothing worked, but also I didn't have it set up, I just tried it outside. So I don't know, but either way, everything else did germinate, but because I wanted things were germinating at different times, and as soon as it germinated, I thought it had to have light on the second it popped up from the surface, which is incorrect. Ideally that is true, but plants need rest from light or from sun or from whatever. So from the light source, they do need rest. Otherwise they get stunted, and that's what happened to me. I noticed my plants were stunted, or my seedlings I should say were stunted, but I took it as like I was being impatient, so I waited and waited, and then I'm just like, nothing's happening. So then I started to Google and research, and then I thought I'll look at time-lapse videos on YouTube, which is actually really fascinating and cool if you haven't looked at that before. But it's like a tiny 2-in-1. I found sweet paprika, I found jalapeno, I found, and it's a time-lapse, and they generally have like the day or the week that that plant is in, and the state of that plant or that seedling compared to my itty bitty tiny little seedling. I'm like, it is definitely stunted. And then I was Googling, why is my seedling stunted, especially having this setup. I thought I wouldn't run into any issues like that, and then that's when I'm like, light bulb went on, my lights are on. So it just, they needed a rest. Started to turn off the lights, and they're growing again. They did take a few days until they started to grow again. And we have lost some seedlings. Some are struggling a little bit. Some are thriving. So it's a complete mix. But this is also my very first year, my first time doing a setup like this. So I'm learning. Now I've learned that. I know I'm not going to make that mistake again. It makes so much sense. It's such simple, basic knowledge that I should have known. But it's just in the moment, I just didn't do it. But I know now. So we are a little bit behind, but that's okay, because I also started these pretty early because I just want to start. I'm just too excited. I'm too eager. So I did start these early. That's another good thing on why I sown more seeds than I knew I needed or wanted, and 2, started as early as I possibly could, because slip-ups and failures and things like this, then I'm still good. We're still good. We still got so much growing season. We're only 13 days in the spring, and we got the rest of the spring and all of summer, so we should be good. But otherwise, that is my garden tour for this year. Thank you so much for watching. And also, I was going to do an individual video of this whole seed setup. I feel like I've now just kind of talked through how it works. To my knowledge, at least, I don't know what actually happens inside the light bulbs or the heat pads. Like I said, it just goes in one section, does whatever it does, and then comes out in the other section where you plug in. That's as far as my knowledge is going to go with that. All I know is that it works, and each mat has heat. So if you do have any questions about that or anything else in the garden or anything like that, then definitely let me know in the comments below. But I also thought, again, with the pond area, I'm trying to think if there's anything else really. I think that's all that is out in the garden now. Actually, that isn't. At first, when I first started this intro, I thought it was the zucchinis as well, but no, that video is up, which I will leave down below if you miss out, or if you're interested to see me plant out the zucchinis from here into the garden. But yeah, that video is definitely up, so I'll leave that down below. Otherwise, I think it's just the pond. That video will come next, and then yeah, I just want to do monthly updates, real-time updates, so other people that's in my area in South Australia, specifically Whyalla, if there is anyone watching that's from my actual town, or like I said, even just South Australia in general, that wants to know what I'm doing. And again, this is my second year gardening. Last year I didn't really know what I was doing at all, complete winging it. This year I'm absorbing some information and I'm trialing and erroring, and I've noticed where I've gone wrong, rather than be like, oh, the plant died and blame it on the plant. It's not the plant. If the plant wants to grow, that's what the plant is alive for. It wants to grow. It didn't die just because the plant died. It died because it was a factor to it, and that's what I'm really trying to learn and grasp and realize and everything like that. So it's a whole new world, the gardening world, but we're gonna get there. Otherwise, I think that's all. I just feel like I'm talking and rambling, but yeah, we'll do monthly updates. Hopefully by next update, finger crossed, like next month update, the sunflowers and the cosmos would be sprouted. The cornfield should be planted. Whether that would have been sprouted by in a month or not, I don't know. The grass hopefully will be a lot more fuller, so that'll be more exciting. Maybe these cherry tomatoes and other tomatoes and capsicums, maybe they might be out. They might still be in here because they are behind. I don't know. But yeah, we'll just see. I'll show you guys along the journey throughout the month anyway. And then yeah, we'll just do a whole monthly recap next month. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!